attach a dread today. So I've just separated the hair here into a V shape, and I'm going to do the same with the extension, and then we're going to weave them together. So I've just separated the two. We've just got the two happening together, and in we go. Here we just made an anchor. I go down here and do the same thing. Make a little anchor. Popped all of that in there. We now have got a really tight hold, and now I'm just going to go along and just tidy up. How old are these dreads?
Oh, they're probably about a year old. I've been pretty bad.
Did you have the wraps putting them as soon as
Yeah, as soon as the dreads were done.
That's why they've got the
thin bit.
The thin bit, and also the knots and things in them. Is that the wrap has been put on up to there, and then it's stopped here in this area here, and you can see that the dread has not expanded here. It's just stayed and remained the same. Gives you an idea of how much the dreads expand. And here, because it's had the wrap here, all these bits here have backed up and tried to kind of like expand but haven't been able to, so they've created like these lumps and the likes here. Can be quite hard to get at, but I'm just going to show you one way is to do the drag.
Do drag.
And just use the hook and just drag in. As best you can. And because it's quite hard and compact, be careful with your fingers and just pull and drag. So here we have some dreads that are around about 3 months old, I think. So we've had a 2 or 3 maintenances after the process of weaving them. So we've come back today after, I think it's probably around about 2 months or 3 months?
2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So we have like a little loop here that's happening in the dread, and it's happening in a few places. So first, these are caused by, we call it a cannibal dread, and you can see that if we were to leave it, it would bend up like that and start joining to this dread here, and then we have problems. But at the moment we're easily fixed. We have the loop coming out because it's just escaping from the weave. So we've weaved. There's a little bit here that hasn't weaved properly, so we're weaving it back in and making sure it's nice and tight. So what we're going to do here is just simply hold it over the thumb. I'm putting the hook in, and we're using what's called the drag. So I'm dragging the loop into the center of the dread. So here we go, dragging along, drag, until you've got that loop all the way in there. Now it's still going to look a little bit messy, so now the next part of the process is just basically cleaning up. So we've got a really large base here, so it depends from here to here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to separate it. Probably was once 2 or 3 dreads, and this will become one. Quite established dreads. So I'm just found a really low point in the dreads. You can actually feel where they're joined together if you really rub. And I've just made a little clip in there with the scissors. And let's just separate it there. Now once I've got it, I'm starting at the base because I can get closer to the base and like separate and know where I'm going. Because dreads do wrap themselves around, so there's no point in starting at the bottom of the dread, because you will then get yourself into trouble, because you'll lose sight of the base work. So I'm going up here, slowly going through the whole dread, getting it to the base. Once you've got it to the base there, don't worry about the bottom part of it yet. We're going to.
The scalp coming through, can't you?
You can see the scalp coming through where the base. Yeah, exactly. So you just part it there. Try and do a fairly good job of your sectioning. I'm going to make this into 2 here, and then with your hook, do your sectioning up here while it still remains as one dread, so that we're staying nice and tight. Two dreads out of this. You can see this one already has started to separate, and I've got no problems with the one down here. It's still all joined together as one. We'll deal with that as we come along. So I'm going to slowly dread down the dread, cut into it, make the dread happen bit by bit. It's a bit of patience. You don't want to go too quick on this because you don't want to wreck these beautiful established dreads. So what we've done here, we've cut it on the inside, and we've just gone into the base here. And then what I'm doing here is slowly unpicking the dread rather than cutting into it, which means that it's a little bit more of a longer process, but you actually don't break hair, and you make sure that the dread is really then tight. Because when you cut into hair, because the dread has like formed itself around in almost like a spiral, you can't be sure where it begins and ends. So the only way to be clear of that is to actually slowly find the middle ground and slowly just pull your hook along like this, and just pull the hair out as you go along. And when you've got enough room, like nearly there, you then start to just round these off and make sure that these dreads are nice and well formed, so that they look fabulous as we're going along.
Fabulous.
So you can notice a little bit of build up in the dreads that have been separated, because there's, as you can imagine, that was one whole thing, and skin cells and wax and blah 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 have all gone in there. So, but that will, as I was saying to Anthea before, that is really good for the dread bombs are really good for that.
And it's then being placed through the base, so that should never have happened. So I'm just going to undo this, and we're going to re-establish a couple of dreads in here, and I'll show you how that's done. So beginning with unpicking. So here we are, we're just unpicking it slowly, and as I'm unpicking it, just to keep as much hair as possible, I'm kind of dreading the two things just slightly together so we don't lose too much hair. So this is just going to help when we undo the whole thing at the base to stop it from losing that hair, because you can tend to lose a lot of hair when you're doing this if you don't do that. That was one huge big dread across here, and we've now got 3. I'm probably even going to get 4 out of that next one there, so that it frames her face really lovely. She'll be able to put this back really easily and actually feel much more comfortable on the scalp. We'll get rid of any issues that were happening under the scalp there. Tarot has separated 2 dreads that were one really thick base across here, and he's separated successfully them into 2 dreads, and now that's going to be much more comfortable for her. Okay, so what we've got here is a really large-eyed, I think they're called I'm not sure. Darning needle, maybe. It's not really sharp on the end, but it's sharpish, but definitely not like a needle, but really large. And I'm just going to thread now this cotton through here. What I'm going to do is just start at the base of the dread and just sew that in. Just needs a couple there. Just pull it down so you don't have a huge tail, because they can get really hard to work with. Oops, yeah, so that's perfect.
That sometimes happens.
So now that we've got that through, we'll just do a tie on that just to stop it from going anywhere. So just tie it in a knot there so it's not going to come out. And just to be extra sure it's not going to come out, we're just going to hold the hair firmly and we're just going to wrap it around. So I'm kind of like, I'm just making sure you don't get any of the other bits of hair in there, because it can be a bit uncomfortable. I'm just kind of like holding it tightly, making sure it's nice and neat. Just wrapping it around. So we started on that there. Beautiful. So that little tail now is really secure under there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of zigzagging, what I call dread corsetry. So I'm just going to go down the dread like this, just keeping sure that you've got it nice and tight, because that's really the trick. It takes a little while to get this, and I use my fingers. See here, I'm holding it tight whilst I pull it around. So I'm just going to go around in like almost like a spiral. Try and keep it even as you go around. All the way. Even. Steven. And you are going to come across little bumps like that. You know, I think I'm just going to, on this case, just do some actual, because it's so uneven, this dread, I'm just going to do some binding here. Yeah, I've just done a solid block here, and now I'm doing a little bit more of a solid block up down here, and then I'll start doing a little bit of crisscross as I get a bit closer to the area where it feels a bit safer.
It's a work in progress, Nazzy. We're getting there, so I'm just gonna. I'm going to do the swirly spirals, and I don't know what we're doing.
That little guy.
I will get to that.
Okay, so we've
been
got
de-waxing all today, actually.
So we've got a waxy job here. So what we've done is this person's dreads actually had quite a lot of they're really soft
beeswax. This stuff's beeswax. Yeah.
And what it does is that it's really hard to come out with washing. We've washed it twice, but it's still there. So we're using a little lavender, 3 parts lavender, witch hazel, and lemon eucalyptus. You don't need a great deal. Spray it onto your hands, we find is the best way, and then rub it into the hair. Grab a towel and just rough it up with a towel. So I'll just get Bond to do one of these just to show you how that goes. So you can mix this up yourself. We don't actually sell this product, but you can mix it up yourself. So if you grab just a normal everyday bottle, spray bottle, keep it on your hands, Bond.
Yeah.
Spray a little bit into your hands. Not that much. Sprays. Quite strong. Pop it into the hair. Just rub it in. And then grab a towel and just rough it back with a towel. And that helps to pull it out and makes it, and also gives it a little bit of a zhuzh at the same time, and you'll find that that helps too with the dreading. So any kind of like waxy dreads, this is the way to go and to get rid of them. Washing the hair is just not going to work because they're just it's wax. So it's like with any wax, it's not good. But we'll show you the finish of this product after. Going to be taking these beautiful dreads out, and I'm just gonna video. This is what it looks like in the beginning. What's happening here is Kay's actually got extensions, and you can see kind of where they start here, but because we don't want to actually cut any of her hair, we go to around about here. We know her hair is going to come to around about here, but just in case it's a little bit longer, we don't want to lose any of that, we cut this end off first. So just take that and cut it with the scissors, get rid of that, and then grab your hook. And you use the same kind of motion as you would do with weaving. So you grab each hair. This is not a job that is about just wrecking into the hair. This is a job that is about being patient and gentle and just slowly pulling all those hairs away. This will work on either synthetic hair or just real hair, and you just keep on going. You can see here we've had to go at this one, and she's got quite a bit of hair left, and it's in very good condition. We hardly lost any hair whatsoever. So by the time that we can give her a wash today if you want afterwards, and by the time we've finished with this, her hair will be in beautiful condition, and there won't be any hair loss at all. Don't go raking at it with anything. Don't think you can do it much quicker or anything else. Just as patiently as possible. So now we're onto the real hair, and you can see it is a little bit more sticky than the actual extension hair, and also keeping in mind that you're using that like number 8 weaving motion, so you know how it was weaved together. So just follow the similar motion when you're undoing it. Always working from the edges, I find the easiest. We're nearly there now. So here we are now. Most of Kate's hair is going to be saved, and we've got this beautiful hair now. It's really thick and luscious, and once we've finished conditioning this and washing it, her hair's going to be fabulous. Beautiful. This is the end. You can see we've got lots of hair still. It's really good condition. We've given it a bit of a wash, a bit of a condition, and Kay's keeping a couple of little dreadies on the side there, and on this side, and so she can go off now and have a haircut, and it will look fabulous.